Alright, so you've probably seen or heard of a crazy expensive robot vacuum slash mop like the Samsung Bespoke, like the Eufy, like the Dreamy. And what if you don't need the mop? You just need the vacuum because where you live, it's just carpet. And what if you have a small space? And what if you don't want something that expensive? And what if you don't want to vacuum? What if you could be using that free time to work on schoolwork or work on a video or be playing sports? And what if you could get a robot vacuum for almost 10 times less the price of $1,000 vacuum? And what if you just need the vacuum and not the mop? Guys, I think I found it. I think I found it this time. This is starting to sound like an ad, but I've been living with this thing for almost a month now, and it's pretty awesome. This thing is just not awesome, but it gets the job done. Now, this is going to be fun. Alright, so I mentioned I've been living with this thing for about a month now, but actually I've been living with it for 2 months now. So when I got it, I was gonna do a review a week later, but the sensors they were just hitting the walls and objects in a way. So I thought maybe it's just learning and adapting to the new place. But now it's been 2 months and I have enough data to make the right judgments. So, like almost every robot vacuum out there, this one has a circular shape with the logo on the top. And if you look close to the front, it's the sub power button. And I said that because it has a main power button on the bottom. And if you look close to the power button, it's the Wi-Fi logo with the blue LED. And the blinking one means it is not connected to a Wi-Fi. And if it's on and not blinking, that means it is connected to your Wi-Fi. Looking at it from the bottom, it's the main power button, the sweepers, the roller, which you can remove for cleaning, the charging contacts, which is magnetic, so it sticks to the docking station. And the noticeable thing here is the wheels. You get two motorized wheels and a single 360 wheel. It's a circular go-kart that vacuums. And the thing that isn't easily noticed is the anti-drop sensors. You get three, one in the front and two on each sides. But how good is this for a $70 vacuum? I mean, it works partially. It is not the best. This thing will not stop this vacuum from falling down the stairs. It is not great at all. But hey, it works sometimes. It works sometimes. But if you don't have the slightest opportunity to let this thing fall, then you really don't have to worry about it. So every vacuum has a storage, right? The storage on this one is at the back. To pull it out, you just have to press on this thing and it pull. And I acknowledge that it is not big, it is not the greatest ever. But here in my dorm, we have a small dorm and this is not a big space. It is small and this thing is just here to dust the floor and clear the crumbs. And it's really great at it. It does a really great job at that. And the bin has this tiny tire so it doesn't drag on the floor. One thing I gotta say that I like about this bin is that it has a brief manual to reference in case something goes wrong with the vacuum. And you also get this filter that needs to be cleaned twice a month, unlike the dustbin that needs to be empty after every single use. Just like with every other vacuum out there. The huge turn off in this vacuum might be the sensors or the dustbin size depending on your needs. But the sensors, they're not great at recognizing that there's an object in the way and it needs to take a different route. Nope, it just goes straight into the object. And that is actually bad. So at first when I got it, it used to hit the walls and my refrigerator and the drawers and different objects in the way. It just goes straight into the object and as soon as it hits it, it's like, oh, okay, I gotta take a different path. At first it was really bad, but now it doesn't hit the walls, doesn't hit the refrigerator, doesn't hit the drawers. It just hit my shoes, the bed, my desk. That's all it does, and it's not great at recognizing there's an object in the way. It just hits it and then think to itself, oh, okay, there's no path here, so I gotta take a different route. I think besides that, there isn't a huge turn off in this thing. It's actually great. So, usually when you're vacuuming a single room, that'll take you about 10 to 15 minutes if it takes you that long at all. On a full charge, this thing can run for about an hour and a half with a maximum suction power of 2000, all thanks to the 2600 milliamp battery. Pretty sick. So, unlike you've seen with expensive vacuums slash mop, the docking station on this one is small. I guess the main purpose of this is to charge the vacuum and this extrusion to store the remote, but it actually doesn't work. I mean, what's the point if you're not gonna make it better? But on the bright side, it has this white LED to indicate that the docking station is connected to a power source, and it's little cable management on the bottom, and that's about the docking station really. Its main purpose is to charge the vacuum, I guess. It doesn't really do that much, just to charge it. That's about it. The remote extrusion doesn't really work that well. It'll fall all the time, and that's about it. So the vacuum runs until it reaches 12% and then try to make its way back to the docking station. I don't know how it does this, but it keeps going anywhere but where the duck is. And that's hilarious. It keeps hitting things, it'll go somewhere until it hits something, and then it thinks to itself, oh, okay, there is no path here, so I gotta make a different way. It'll do that until it gets closer to the duck and then align itself to the docking station so that the charging contacts on the dock itself aligns well. I guess the charging contacts on the vacuum itself aligns with the charging contacts on the dock, and then it just drives straight to the docking station. But it'll keep hitting things until it makes its way back to the docking station. It is not the greatest at navigation, but it keeps trying. It's $70, y'all. Unlike that I've seen in most robot vacuums, this one has a remote that lets you control different cleaning modes, the suction level, the home button, and the Wi-Fi button. It looks like a fan remote until you see the home button, then you have second thoughts. Nice. And in addition to the remote, you also get an app that connects to a Wi-Fi, and this lets you also control the vacuum and see when the filter, the roller, and the sweepers need change. And it also lets you schedule cleaning time, and it's pretty sick. But a feature that I would most appreciate is when the dustbin is full, it lets you know so you can empty it, or the vacuum doesn't run at all until you empty that dustbin. That'll be pretty sick. I don't know, might be just me, but they should implement that. If you guys see this video by any chance, that's a feature that I would appreciate. Besides the sensors not doing a great job and the dustbin being small, it's actually not bad for $70. It's great. Listen, every piece of tech is great. It's kind of great in relation to its intended use. If you use a phone for gaming, a phone that wasn't meant for gaming, the gaming experience will suck. If you use many streaming devices on a low bandwidth network, the streaming will suck. If you use this vacuum in a large room with many things to clean, it'll do very poorly. I guess my point is, don't ask a fish. I mean, I couldn't say this any better than someone did. Don't ask a fish to climb a tree, I guess. But thank you for watching. See you guys in the next one. My name is not MKBHD Bot. Peace.